But for now, you know the deal. Onward with Monday. And we're going to start it off with something a little special just because we've never actually gotten to capture this before. So big congratulations to Cooper on his blue belt promotion. Finally making his way out of the ranks of the white belt. Well deserved. Kid's worked super hard over the last few years and is a monster now. And then onward to Jordan as well. Big congrats to Jordan. Yeah, just not much more to say than that. These guys are regularly beating us up, doing awesome. So really proud to get to show that. Oh, hey, Cooper. Oh man, and your first blue belt rolls with Luke. Meanwhile, Jason and I start things off as we usually do. Oh, Coop going for a front headlock, and Luke dumping him. I think the last time Jason and I rolled, it pretty much stayed here. So at some point here, I decided to sit because I wanted to do jiu-jitsu. Not get burnt out wrestling my first round. Got Mitchell and Cole over there, Victor and Joe. Mitchell makes his way behind Cole. How'd he get there? You just run around him? Cole just letting him go. Got Joe smashing into Victor's guard here, making his way past it. Looks like Victor's trying to keep that top knee in, pummels in to butterfly guard. And we got Justin back as well over here with Veronica. Love to see it. Cole just goes down. Turns to guard. Hits Mitchell with a little inside trip action with the legs. And Jason smashes his way past my guard too. Victor trying to work some close guard stuff. This is always a battle when someone kind of tucks in close guard, keeps their hands real tight, keeps their posture low. It's almost like a turtle position. They're not really going to advance their self just yet. They're waiting for a time to kind of get free and start getting to work. Oil check city. I certainly hope not. But you might see one sneak in. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? And then I didn't even see how you got up, Joe. But yeah, I was just saying, Joe kind of bides his time here as Victor starts trying to attack something, right? Trying to get an arm separated when he feels safe enough to get his posture up and start working guard breaks. That's what he starts to do. Looks like a log splitter, getting the pressure on the ankles to get separated. Inokibot, thank you for the follow a few days ago. And welcome to the chat. What's up, Baker? Oh, we got you going with Ricky here. I see you stepped in. Deathcore was shaken. Good evening to you as well. I know. I was stoked when I saw Justin come in. I was very excited to get my roll with him as well. Ooh, big toss there from Joe, I think. Initiating. Kind of looks almost like a Tai Otoshi step in front. Victor is lifting that leg here, I think in anticipation probably of like an Uchimata. But with that connection you have up top, he puts his leg back down, and then that left leg of yours, Joe, that steps in. I feel like that kind of just acts like a post to pull him over. So that's Tai Otoshi, if you're familiar with that, similar move in judo. Any twisters tonight? Not on my end. I don't know if somebody else got some. I don't think anybody let me do anything tonight. I mean, Jason won't even let me wrestle up on him. Quick turnout and runs away. Joe making his way to north-south here. Hello, Cole. Oh man, I got two new emotes in the pipeline I need to make. Looking at that bloody Mike face. We have the bloody Caleb I still haven't made that I need to make, and then we got Luke to add to the party now. Coop looking for a triangle, but Luke keeping really good posture, not letting Cooper break him down. Joe laying on that heavy shoulder pressure from north-south. Let's see how Ricky handles this. So yeah, the hugging over the back that Ricky's doing isn't gonna do a whole hell of a lot as far as escaping goes. This is where you want to start getting your elbows in beneath your partner's chest and your chest. Do we review tape from the same night? We review. So this is our Monday open mat. We record that, and then me and sometimes another guy who sits right over here in this corner. We'll get on here and review this for the students and any other viewers. I mean, Deathcore, long time viewer, not one of our local students, but hopefully, it's for everybody to pull some stuff from. I don't, and Inoki, I don't know if you're one of our students or not. If so, feel free to dox yourself. You don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, this is from our Monday night. I was working elbows, but also felt like I was stalled out trying not to lose position. Yeah, I mean, just remember, like, if you're, when you're in north-south, if someone like what Ricky's doing right now, holding on to you, Joe, you can kind of stall out there, but it doesn't. You're on top, like you're not in a terrible spot. You can start to think about how do you make your way back to side control and what can you open up on your way there. You could be real sneaky and jump straight into legs. I'm not going to say that's a great thing to do, but it's a fun thing to do. All sorts of stuff. And you have your big step around in a mount that you do, but he's going to have to get rid of this bear hug. West Coast. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate all of our viewers, especially the ones who aren't on the mat trying to kill me. How long you been training? I assume you do BJJ yourself. Joe needs me as hard as he can at some point. He's doing whatever he can these days. Baker needs you, I assume you're saying? We know you do, man. We know you do. But yeah, Noki, I try to pull out as much technique from these videos as I can to help everybody either improve their technique or give them an attaboy when they do good stuff. See how to beat up me and all the other black belts, all that sort of thing. And then we go over competition footage sometimes too. Whenever we have students compete and we get the matches, we pull that up and go over it as well, so they can get some feedback on their performance. I got you. Rolled ankle, sprained wrist, popped rib. God damn, dude. I'll take all those except the popped rib. That stuff puts me, like, a popped rib will put me out for a while. But yeah, no sense in training on that many injuries. Anybody doing anything right now? Looks like Mitchell just trying to attack Turtle. Thank you, Ronnie. Cole trying to break down Jason's posture here. A lot harder to do on Jason than it is on me. But we know that's how Cole likes to initiate a lot of his takedowns. A very Greco-Roman sort of approach. Primarily upper body control, and then taking it down to the mat from there. Going to Americana Ricky. Okay, it wasn't. I take it that wasn't it. Yeah. We're at 1 1/4 speed. I thought I actually had. Is the speed not shown on the? Where's the playback speed? I thought I had playback speed shown. But yeah, we're at 1 1/4. These are definitely this is like 1 time speed. So we're not that mean to each other. Let me see. I know I had this up before. Sorry, I'm gonna ignore the stream for a second while I try to figure out why my playback speed isn't showing. Yeah, I was gonna say normally I feel like it is shown. Oh yeah, Jason and whatever. I'll fix it. I'll fix it off the off air. But yeah, otherwise I'm here because I get long winded about this stuff, so I'll stay on too late if the stream isn't sped up a little bit. So you Americana Ricky, is it there? Or have you guys already reset? Okay, you reset, I think. Let's look in here. I mean, that certainly doesn't look like an Americana. You did say Americana, right? Yeah, was the Americana before that? Oh, I swear to God, Ronnie, type. Get your grammar right. Okay. I thought he was about to try to Americana you, and you meant to type that. I want to see Cole and Jason hit the wall again. But he's going to. So Ricky's trying to get to your back. You roll up out of it because you're good at that. I feel like I went back really far. Jason about had a single leg there, but Cole wasn't doing it. And Luke on a Kimura as well. So a little interesting. Luke sets up this Kimura from mount, gets the grip. Alex is straightening his arm out, and Luke opts to go to side control. You may wonder why you would go from mount to side control. Like, isn't that a big step backwards? In most cases, yeah, that would be kind of a loss of position, I would think. But since this Kimura is locked up enough that Luke feels confident in it, going to side control gives him much better control over the shoulder line, which is what you need if you're going to attack an arm, generally speaking. So stepping off to this position where he can lay his weight across Alex's shoulder line gives him a higher percentage chance of finishing that Kimura. You see he turns up towards it, gets Alex's back off the mat, and is able to get a quick finish. I don't think you ever Americana'd Ricky. Veronica. I believe in the heel hook. Or did that giant slam into the wall happen? I want to blame Cole, but I think it was Jason Cooper. I dream about Americanaing people. I get it. Yeah, Jason with the big double attempt. A real nice blast double ish. Pulls a double out. Cole on the on that grip over the torso though, which is where he likes to work from. Alex working the standing guard break. Let's see if he gets there. I knew it would. I knew the camera was going to shake. It's only happened a handful of times. I knew that'd be one. So really wide and now staggered stance from this. So that's probably not going to work too well. You're just off balance here, Alex. There you go. Settle back in. Anytime you guys try that standing guard break, when it's not working for you, just come back down to your knees. Look at him. He goes right back to work. Standing up. Ankles are out. Luke has a good counter from there. But Alex could shut it down. It almost looks like he's trying to like double ankle lock Luke. I mean, obviously not an ankle lock here just because he's up on the calf. I'm not sure if that's what he's intending for this. But Alex, if you see this, one thing to consider here, it's hard to get out of close guard. It can be a decent energy expending endeavor, right? When you get up and you feel those legs pop open, you can make some distance, right? Back up a little bit, get your hands, hand fighting the legs. You don't necessarily have to stay in the pocket. If you do, you need to be ready to push a knee down. Like in this case, one of these hands could find the knee of one of these legs, and you push that knee down your body below your knee, and then you can start working on stapling a leg in place. Baseball sliding through with potentially other things like that. You have passing options from there. Standing and attacking legs, though, not going to do too much for you if that's what you were thinking here. Yeah. Everyone, I genuinely thought I was like, I hope that wall's strong enough for that. So now Lucas turned that whole situation into a leg entry. Doesn't have anything locked up just yet. He's on kind of an outside ashi. No heel exposure yet. It looks like he's kind of letting Alex work. There we go. Victor hit a nice back take on me earlier. I want to see if we could catch it. So I wanted to call it out. Sorry, I didn't think it was this early. Maybe it was. Either way, he ninja rolled me. It was awesome. I was super happy for him. Let's see if we could find it. 2 minutes. There it is. So he's in a little deep on this. I didn't realize it at the time, but so he's attempting this from a flattened out half guard position. Probably not the most successful spot to do it. To make it even better, I'd like to see this knee, the knee of the trapped leg, out. So you've basically progressed from half guard top to a 3/4 mount. From there, that whole ninja roll move becomes much easier and is a lot more successful. I felt him going for it. I'm like, I absolutely want him to hit this and like play with it. So he gets me elevated. I go with it. I was super stoked for him. But Victor, if you watch this, I'd like you to look for a little bit better knee placement, and then you're off to the races with it. It's gonna be a lot harder for me to stop. So that was way back. We were a minute or 30 seconds left, I believe. So we see Luke here playing some inside or looking for inside position on a straight leg, or I'm sorry, a straight stance, not a staggered stance. Trying to pick that leg with his ankle. And then right at the bell gets the straight arm out of that. Cole looking for something, not a straight arm, but something similar. Kind of a shallow shoulder crunch. I think we'll, no spoilers, but we'll see that a little bit later. Similar grip Cole takes for Kimura finish. Yeah, Baker, this is the problem I have standing with Cole as well. Like, anytime I'm normally pretty comfortable in the pocket, upright or even hinged over a little bit with most people. I don't get too worried about it. Cole's got a good way of bearing down on this sort of position. Probably has a lot to do with that grip. But just a dangerous spot to be, even with this double wrist grip, which I typically have a lot of confidence in to shut down any sort of front headlock variations, all sorts of stuff. I mean, a good wrestler wouldn't think twice about that grip probably, but most people take a pause when they're dealing with something like that. It looks like you've switched now to the single leg. Yeah, Cole squares back up and sprawls out. It's going to be a hard position to work from against him. I would try to work some, posture breaks on him, right? Feints to get him bending down, collar ties. Definitely don't let him do that to you. Yeah, definitely don't let him do that. Because then that's what he does. He makes this stupid face at the camera. Can we... I mean, this is just bad. But we're just going to leave it there. Cole's going to screenshot that right now. Probably send it to a group chat. So, I believe that you were trying to not go belly down. Last time I rolled, or one of the last times I rolled with Cole, he was very actively trying to force a belly down position, which sucks, as everybody in this chat probably knows. But he definitely likes that position. I mean, who wouldn't? That's about as like game over of a position as being caught at an inside heel hook for upper body. I don't know what you're disagreeing with, Cole, but perfect spot. If you haven't gotten your inspection, if you need the oil check, that is the spot to do it, though. Inoki is not wrong about that. Let's see. Who else we got? Dan and Coop. And you give him 4 quarts, don't you? Trying with everything I had to hit a flower sweep on Justin here. So flower sweeps, and at least how I know them, and I think Peters and I have argued about this before. How is a flower sweep different from like a pendulum sweep, or some people may call wing sweep that. What I think of as a flower sweep, it doesn't involve a pendulum. I don't think you're going to see me use this leg to initiate this roll. What I'm waiting for is Justin to try to get his right arm back across my body, and I'm anticipating him kind of pushing towards me to do that. That push is what I'm going to exploit with a flower sweep. A pendulum sweep, I initiate that movement. With a flower sweep, I typically find my opponent is going to initiate that movement. So as he pushes towards me, where the flower sweep comes in, this leg is trying to shoot to the sky and then take it over. So I'm continuing the motion that Justin has started with my leg, rather than starting that motion myself. I'm trying to use my right leg there as a counterbalance, not as much of a pendulum. All right, Coop scrambling back to guard here against Dan. Little bottom side can opener action, some double collar tie, pulling the head down. But riding up to a pretty high guard here. Not a bad spot to transition into a triangle if the opportunity presents itself. Cooper looking for the shoulder crunch, though. And Victor getting kind of to an omoplata position. Finishing the attack on the arm. Looks like a little bit of a shoulder attack there. So not quite an omoplata, but more of a Kimura, I'd say. Move of the day, what? The oil check? Or what? What'd you do? Cole with the little, kind of, not really an X guard, but a sweep nonetheless. Yeah, yeah, he was looking for it. You had your arm straight, so there wasn't really. I couldn't tell if you were tapping early or letting him work or what. Let's see what this Coop get into the triangle now. Ooh. Digging those heels in. Dan straightening back up, stacking into it. Let's see if you get your angle back, Cooper. Oh, keep that leg, bro. We'll look at Joe and Cole in a second. I want to see if Coop gets this. That fresh blue belt Cooper beating up on adults. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not that I have anything against Dan. I'll look at this scramble. The roll armbar escape. Oh, that's right. I forgot we did this. So is this from? Sorry, we're still looking here. This is from Dan rolling up an armbar, trying to put an armbar on you. So he doesn't. This is good for you. Like, he's trying an armbar without much isolation of the arm. So I imagine your elbow's pretty safe. But you're gonna turn your hand down right there. It's hard to see, but I'm almost positive that's what you're doing. Your palm is facing this direction. You're rolling over that shoulder, initiating a scramble. And then I'll say you won that scramble. I mean, you pulled guard. It's not terrible. It's better than losing the scramble. But when you come up like that, man, remember, you could try to put him down, take top position instead of working from close guard. Didn't know what to do with the leg. As soon as I passed guard, he went into purple belt coaching mode. Let's see. Does it happen here? So you just try to straight D's nuts Cole right there. But Cole manages to keep that left knee in. If you had beaten that knee, this whole conversation would be very different. But with that hook, good sticky hook. You haven't been able to shake it just yet. I can't see what your right arm is doing, but it looks like maybe it's like, I don't know if you're balancing on Cole or something, but reaching down with that right arm and kind of V gripping on his shin, keeping that shin pinned as you try to back step out of that might be a little bit more helpful. I don't know if that's an option for you or not right now, but that's just what I'm thinking. What's up, Sean? I'm getting all tongue-tied. That's kind of partially a big reason why we do this stream, to make people want to train. So I'm happy to hear that, Inoki, but I also don't want you to be sad. I want you to heal up and get back to training. But yeah, so Joe unable to shake that leg. Cole coming around. Cole, you're like halfway between similar leg entrance that we saw Luke do against Alex when Alex was doing the standing guard break, swinging this leg over, trying to break down, isolate the leg, get Joe off balance, and then the other half of you is still trying to stay stuck to this leg. I would pick one or the other, right? Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing, right? So you get him down. You're kind of in on an Arimi now, Joe. Yeah, Joe's doing a lot to like shut this position down on you. I mean, now at this point, Joe has two legs inside. Even if his legs are isolated, I don't think he's too concerned about the legs at that point. But you had an opportunity there, Cole, which I hope you could see now, to enter into an Arimi or a standard Ashi. This knee, your left knee to your right heel, and isolating that leg. And then you can get to work from here a little bit better. You're like kind of in that position now. But Joe, how the hell does Joe sneak that? Oh, okay. That's what it is. So yeah, Joe's able to get his knee inside of this knee as you're kind of like rolling up. Yeah. Shoulder post. Always reap the knee. Yeah, I mean, he was on his way to a heel hook. I mean, you did a good job though fighting the legs, pummeling your legs back inside. Now you go on the counter attack here with the Katagatame. But Cole has a way of just bringing that arm down annoyingly. Let's see if he can manage that here. What did Cooper Trooper do? Another triangle. Savage. Or was that the same? Was that the same triangle? Yeah, that was the same triangle. Right? Or was that a different one? You just triangling Dan over and over? That had to be a new one. I mean, I haven't hit a Katagatame on Cole, if ever, in a very long time. Same triangle? Okay. You could have lied to me. I wouldn't have known. Meanwhile, Justin, the Alaskan assassin, taking top position on me, headed to mount. Oh, he about dislocated my shoulder here. At one point, he was digging on my arm so hard, I felt like the ball was about to pop out of the socket. Gets the arm isolated. Dramatic. Okay. Gonna have to cauterize your nose, man. Justin had to do that. Justin used to get nosebleeds if he exhaled too hard. And he went to the doctor and they jammed a medical grade soldering iron in his nose or something like that and cauterized that shut. The blood vessel, not his actual nose. What's up, Justin? Dude, you got them. I feel like it was every time you trained, it would just pop open, which has got to suck. Since you're here, I think, is this where you about popped my arm? I just remember I turned really hard to get out of it. Well, like you were just bringing my arm up above my head, but it was. That's it. That's what it was. Right there, I was like, my shoulder's about to dislocate. That's why I'm bridging as hard as I am to try to turn towards you. That was awful. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad there's an easy outpatient answer for something like that. Cole just tossing Joe with a wing sweep here. Yeah, this kind of sucks, Joe. You're loaded up on that leg, and yeah, the arm weave in between the legs. If you're committed to that, gonna make it hard to base out as this happens. And Cole just gets control of your head here. Looks like a chin strap grip. Gets a nice toss. Yep. And he's all smiles anyway, because you've been in touch, dude. When it's winter, I basically have a constant, like, almost bloody nose. Every time I train afterwards, if I blow my nose, it's just disgusting. All because of like the lack of humidity, like the super dry air. I thought you kind of went with it a little bit. Get him back later. All right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Jordan getting his that first blue belt roll with Luke. This is Sasai Surikomiyashi. Surikomiyashi. Um, this I really love this just because it's a move. It's a takedown you can hit with underhooks that I feel confident in. Sometimes overhooks or underhooks are used against me. So when I get this, I'm pretty happy about it. But I have an underhook with my right arm, and it's typically shallow on this side. I'm not trying to reach too deep. In fact, you'll normally see me grabbing the shoulder if I'm going to do this move. Um, but it's a step across the body, and then I post my foot out to trip. So you can see that there. I'm pulling with my underhook and typically pushing with the shoulder post on the other side. I don't know if I had the shoulder post here just because I had a good grip on the underhook. I may not have needed it. Yeah, see, I'm grabbing his wrist. But now if I could get that upper body turning enough to make him want to step, but he can't step, and I could get a takedown. So really, really good move. If you like playing with underhooks from standing, this is a good one to add into your repertoire. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, bruh? And Cole comes over and ruins it. Ben over there looking for a foot sweep on Jason. Luke with the double ankle sweep. So you guys know I talk about this ad nauseum. Stand up from here. You know, what Luke is doing to shut down this standing guard break. Luke actually has wrist control, so Jordan isn't really like hunched over by choice. As soon as Luke lets go, he grabs the ankles to set up the double ankle sweep. But he's also really good at timing this. Normally, you can just kind of like, you'll fall, you clamp your legs together, they can't sit up, right? As Luke goes down, he'll try to pop his hips up to beat the knees. In this case, for everybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, who hasn't heard me give the spiel a million times, Jordan can clamp his knees together, and that makes it difficult for Luke to sit up. But if Luke can pop his hips up quickly enough, that clamp of the knees becomes less effective, and Luke can kind of ride this momentum and take mount from here. So that's what he does with Jordan. See right there, as he gets Jordan down, he basically just does a technical lift. You watch his hand, goes to the mat, he's grabbing up to like a collar tie, pull himself up, just has to get his hips up before Jordan can clamp down on the knees, and he's right into a mount. It's a good example of when, you know, that plan fails. You know, nothing in jiu-jitsu is 100%. But I would definitely like to see a multiple stripe Jordan not letting that shit happen. So it's a spot for improvement, but that's another good reason why anytime you can't get to a good upright position, just come back down. You don't need to fight this. You don't need to leave yourself vulnerable. I think Ben and Jason go to the ground here. Yeah, man. I kind of I like that, especially for Jason. Like, I like that he doesn't just sit and he'll spend the whole round wearing your ass out trying to get you to the ground. I think that's good for him and his career. Similar motion to a sit-up sweep. Yeah, it is. That's a good comparison. Fast forward. How about no? How about slow-mo? Ooh. Joe hit you there? Joe's never hit anybody in the face before. Actually, Baker, remember when you and I were rolling during this session, you accidentally poked me in the eye, but it wasn't that bad. It gave me a black eye. I don't know if you could see it, but it's all right. Luke fared way worse. Nobody wants to see this survival round. I can't wait for the leaks of the Gabby Craig OnlyFans collab. unless purchasing it goes to the kids charity, maybe then We'll take up a collection of the school. Yeah, only Danny hits you in the face, Veronica. Was there like a moth flying around the camera? I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Whatever little flashes are happening. I've always wondered what words show up on the credit card statement. Oh, Sean, were you saying that looked like a tap when right here? I did. I don't know. Oh, Jordan in on Luke's leg, but Luke gets the knee free, so he's pretty safe there. I've had 2 black eyes in the last 2 weeks training, but they don't really happen that often. That's honestly much more of an anomaly. I think most people are pretty good about it. It's always the errant like elbow or knee that catches me. Just have a very punchable face, I guess. Who was that, Danny? I mean, Veronica. Cole over here. Speaking of Ronnie, getting the arm extended from side control. It's like a nice gentle tap from there. What was that sweep I did? Oh, just a basic scissor sweep on Dan here. So really focused on collecting that arm, falling to my shoulder, not falling to my back, and then cutting the legs out, pushing over with the knee, standard scissor sweep stuff, and coming up into top half guard. Tall Joe smashing not Tall Joe. Looks like he's trying to, or he was thinking about a mounted triangle. Baker digs his heels in and takes that opportunity away. Yeah, it has been that. The worst I ever got hit in the eye. It was this kid's first day, and like he felt terrible, because he didn't. He's like, oh my god, I just hit the instructor or something. But I got behind him and he whipped around and his elbow caught me like dead on the eyeball. I don't know how it didn't become a black eye, but it was like it just hit the soft tissue of my eye. It was pretty awful. Fast forward a few years and I accidentally do that to one of our purple belts. And I'm still sorry, Caleb, if you're there. Is he even watching? He's not even watching. Okay. Just watching Dan spin out of this leg entrance on me. It's not bad. I don't have the heel or any part of the foot locked up, so it's not terribly unsafe for him to do that. Just want to make sure as a white belt he's not making dangerous moves when leg entanglements are involved. And then there's similar sweep situation. This time more from double unders. I just get it's not quite a scissor sweep. I get more of it's like a knee push on him. Just getting the left side of his body opened up. If I can get the arm way up high, this is what you often see me do with the shoulder crunch. I'll then put a foot to the knee like this, and I just get the leg straightened out, the left side of the body totally opened up, and then I could take him over pretty easily. Joe looking for a kipping escape here, possibly. It's so much easier when I'm on top of you, Joe. It's nice to see you struggle with a kip escape for once. Oh, Jordan gets caught in a triangle. A Luke triangle. Those are the worst kind of triangles. Yeah, so this is dangerous, man. You don't want to do this, Jordan. What's going on here? You've got your arm extended, right? So we're looking left arm extended, kind of to hold, maybe to hold Luke down so he can't like, crunch up and grab your head more than he's already grabbing your head. You're isolating your own arm when you do that. Second, you start to dig under the leg with your right arm. You're just giving him one arm in and one arm out, right? You're making this triangle extremely easy for him. He's probably going to pull this left leg right up over your shoulder next. There you go. And then now he's just in on a pretty deep finish. He's not even cutting an angle. Yeah, you you gave him that triangle. That was extremely fast, yeah. Granted, we are at 1.25 speed, but still fast. Excited to get out of this mount. Call it a win. Kip failed. Had a knee elbow. Yeah, I taught that a little bit yesterday. Sorry, I just want to look at your kip to knee elbow stuff. So there's your kipping escape attempt. I could see you now digging that leg in behind the knee, or under the leg rather, and then now you're onto the knee elbow. Yeah, a big thing. I don't know if anyone's in chat that was there yesterday when I taught, but those mount escapes, they're really great when you learn how to do them, and then your opponent adjusts or your training partners adjust, and all of a sudden that elbow escape doesn't work quite as well. But when you can work that with a the elbow escape to then an upa, or they start to smash you, so you go kipping escape and you get a little bit of movement, and all of a sudden you can get your elbow back in, and the kipping escape failed, but now you have more stuff that you need for an elbow escape. So working those three, the elbow escape or knee elbow, whatever you want to call it, upa, and a kipping escape together can lead to a lot better success for getting out a mount than just spamming one over and over and over and letting your opponent shut it down. Joe's 5'9". Okay, dude, this isn't Tinder. You don't have to lie. Yeah, that actually checks out. Kipping go by any other name? Not sure you've heard that term. So, I don't know. I've only ever heard it called a kipping escape. That comes out of the new wave school. Danaher and Gordon and all those guys. I hope you know what I'm talking about. We haven't exactly seen like a clean example of it yet, at least that I recall on the footage tonight. Definitely, if you're curious about it, I would look at Gary Tonin. Like, you could go online, go on YouTube, search like Gary Tonin kipping escape or Gordon Ryan kipping escape. Maybe some BJJ Fanatics clips will pop up. But it's a very, very useful escape for when someone is in mount and putting chest pressure to your face. When they're sitting upright in mount, that's not the time you're going to want to do it. But when they're down and pressuring you, maybe trying to play a smother game, that's a good time to execute a kipping escape. You get them off balance, their knee comes away from your torso. Now you could work an elbow escape. That just tying back to what I was saying before. But yeah, go check out kipping escapes if you're not familiar with that phrase. Maybe you'll see a good one and say, "Oh, I know what that is. We call that this move," and it might not be so unfamiliar. So I was trying to do a mounted triangle variation that Luke showed the other day that was brand new to me. I love that I'm still learning new stuff, like how to finish mounted triangles. But this foot configuration, it isn't a triangle, right? But I'm kneeling on my ankle and then I'm pinching my knees in to put pressure onto to constrict Cooper's neck here. Cooper's got a little pencil neck though, so it didn't work. So I had to go full mounted triangle. But this has worked for me with bigger guys, which is really awesome because if I can't lock up a triangle, it's really great that you have this alternative leg configuration that you can use to set in some pressure. 6-1 kipping works well. That checks out. I believe that. The key to, there's not a singular key to kipping, but like you got to like round your back, right? You can't do it flat. You don't need to pick a side, but it really, really helps when you do, when you get them off balance to a side and then hit it. And then obviously, keeping your legs together as you flick your legs out rather than like, scissoring your legs or whatever. When all those things come together, it's such a cool escape because it goes right into a leg lock. But when you don't do those things, you just look like a flailing idiot, which I've done a lot. Sorry, catching up on chat. Thing you do with kipping is more of the thing you do at the beginning of the muscle up. Well, no, I guess if you need help like getting up to like that kind of dip position, maybe you would kip up into that. Yeah, or like what it's what you do when you're on like your last pull-ups and you're trying to get a few cheater pull-ups. Happy to announce that I finally got a rear naked on Justin. Yeah, dude, that is an accomplishment. Cooper and I both looking for a little over back game here. I think Cooper settles it out and gets top position. 30% choke, 70% neck crank. Oh, on the triangle I did. Whatever, man. Tap's a tap. I cramp up every time I try to lock up the triangle. I don't have any good tips for that other than, the typical get your water and your electrolytes. Oh, Justin, let's see if he gets out of this. Yeah, dude. Joe, you suck. So, full extension. Looking for initially turning away in the direction of a traditional hitchhiker. And it looks like the palm is... which way is that facing? All right, so palm is facing this way. I'm all turned around now, so... Yeah, I believe you're trying to do the traditional hitchhiker here. But it looks like your elbow's pointing that way. I can't tell, so maybe, whatever. I'm going to get wrapped around the axle on this. The one thing I'm not seeing, Justin, which you're probably seeing now, is just the actual turn of the body here, getting the hips around this way, getting the head out from underneath that way. But as Joe tries to like finish this up, you take the perfect opportunity. You get the cross-legging face off of your head early, like right around here. It's probably off your head. Now you beat that leg that's over the body, and you're pretty much scot-free. Oh, belly down one is coming. It didn't already happen, did it? We're at 222. No, it didn't happen. Okay. I'm 6'2" and yeah, Cooper is 6'2" and 16. So his biology is far superior to us 30-year-olds or 30-something-year-olds and older. Every mounted triangle configuration, or it's just in that particular one. Yeah, you know what it is, man. I don't know where you're cramping, like muscle wise, but as you do that mounted triangle, like one thing I like to do to finish it is I put my head on the mat, and that lets my legs become really light, and I'll pull my heels into my butt for the finish. That pulling of the heels into the butt for whatever reason, like I could see why that would make you cramp, especially in like the calves. If you're like really engaging your feet, or like your tibialis muscle, like under your shin, and just like stiffening too much, I could see that causing a cramp. So a little bit more conscious muscle engagement may help that. Telling you to drink a Gatorade is shitty advice, but thinking about how you're engaging those muscles may help you a little bit. Thought his was belly down. It looks like it's not. And Luke beating up Ronnie, of course. We'll check that out in a second. He just got tired and sat on the side for. I don't know what you're talking about with the S shape, Coop. So big step over. Justin, looked like Justin, maybe you were trying to like roll out of it, like beat the roll and miss a line or something. I assume it it sank in pretty easy. Wrong about the belly down, but it's still me. I don't know if I give you my number, will you check for me? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I maybe like an S mount kind of thing. Oh, yeah. It's defaulted to the finish without locking up the triangle. I mean, dude, if that finish that doesn't lock up the triangle works for you, I would just keep doing that. Like, no sense in letting yourself cramp up. Ronnie going on a revenge tour here. There we go. Tucks the leg in behind the back. Nice chair sit back take. Joe going on to a mounted triangle. Rolling off to a regular. Good and deep. Coop looking for the Darce. Damn, how did Luke get out? I look away for a second. Luke gets out. Oh, yeah. Ronnie, you just lost the leg control, it looks like. It looks like maybe you're trying to take Luke toward the right. Like you're trying to recollect this whole thing. And with that leg going down to like push off and move him, that other leg opens up. He's able to roll. Justin, you look like you've had a great training session. And Coop on the back take as well, but not in time. Clamp guard. All right. I wish I was better at clamp guard. I really see the power in that position, but I don't know. I'm 150 pounds. I got short legs. Like I feel like I don't get quite as much out of that position as other guys do. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Brian Glick. He's one of Danaher's students, and like he puts out some instructionals and stuff. I think he has one on the clamp guard that I've really wanted to check out for a while. So I'm sure there's some stuff. I don't like to tell people that their body type limits them too much, but it definitely, leaner body types, long lean, lends itself to moves that, short, stubby limbed people like me, don't get to do quite as well. Darce strangles as a good example. Question in the chat. You never want to injure your training partners. Can I ask how you determine your threshold for joint locks like arm bars and Kimuras? Are you talking my threshold before I tap, or my threshold for the amount of pressure I put on people? Because I can answer both questions, I guess, but I'm curious what you mean. Want the arm drag to single. Oh, yeah, I bet you were. Not going to get it. All right, yeah. So I'll have to check that out, Inoki. I'm glad you got something out of it. That I think he's a good teacher. From what I've seen, I'm just so behind on the million other instructionals I've wanted to watch. Shut up, Cole. When applying the pressure, okay. Yeah, I mean, in Inoki, in short, that's kind of my answer. Training with guys that are super flexible and some that don't want to tap, or you have to crank way farther to get the tap. Yeah, so with guys like that, I don't tap them. Like that's it. I genuinely don't care about uh, making people tap out anymore. Um, I haven't for a long time. Like I love when I know I have a sub dead to rights, and if I was in a comp or something like that, they're gonna tap or they're gonna let their shit break. I'm not gonna injure my training partners. So when I get somebody in a really extended armbar, if I want to make them tap or I want them to like work through late stage escapes, then I'll slowly put pressure on. I'll make them think about it, and they'll eventually tap. But it means nothing to me or my ego to let it go or to let them escape. I could not care any less about it. So I would say, Sean, like try to keep that in mind. Like you probably also have some like favorite training partners and maybe guys who you only train with occasionally, right? Those guys you don't have that rapport with, let it go. Doesn't matter. The guys who you trust, who take you into deep water and you take them into deep water, normally though, you're not gonna injure each other if you're good training partners to each other and good friends. So yeah, I guess my threshold is I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna tap somebody if they want to hold out to where I think they're in trouble. I'll just let it go. Except for Baker here, I'll break his shit any day. Snap his face into the ground. I hope that helps. I think there's a lot of value in not chasing submissions like that, not prioritizing that. I'd rather have really good entrances and have a really good grip on a heel than finishing a heel hook on a training partner. Power move when you can tap somebody and you don't. Sure. Y'all are chatting like crazy today. A person or two that can move a lot more than normal. Yeah, and the biggest, like I straight up, that whole epiphany happened for me when I was a blue belt, and I got to train with Gary Tonin at a seminar, and he tapped to an armbar I put him in, and I'm like, there's no way I'm tapping Gary Tonin, who is known for slipping out of damn near every submission he gets put in. He's like known as just being this slippery fish of an escape artist. So what that told me is that just tap, or if your opponent, or your training partner isn't maybe at that level yet where he doesn't realize he should just tap and his ego's too big, then just let it go. Doesn't matter. If Gary Tonin will let a blue belt at the time tap him at a seminar, what does it matter? Should I be cussing this much? I do what I want. Yeah, no, Peters is the exception. For whatever reason, he just lets this shit pop all the time. That's right. I'm excited to see him at ADCC. I'm glad I know he got the invite because he didn't do like trials or anything this year, but I'm glad he's on the ticket. Which there won't be a stream Sunday because we will be at ADCC. So mark your calendars. I know you guys are going to be super disappointed. Big shoulder push from Joe there. Great use of a technique. You know what? I didn't even think I was in that vulnerable of a spot for this. Normally, I like to see this move done. Like I'll do it when I have somebody completely across my hips, like their entire body is on this line. Joe just makes my entire body go to that line by getting that V grip, and then he gets me totally perpendicular to him with a nice shoulder push and a sit-up. Tall Joe on Luke's back with the body triangle, not a place I like to be. I absolutely hate when Joe gets on my back. Look at that, how easily he's coming around with Luke here. Hasn't lost. Well, now he's lost the ankle, but he was very good on that for a minute. And now makes his way back to mount. We will have fun and be super safe. Inoki 100%. Yeah. As soon as all the CJI stuff like started happening and he said it was gonna be free on YouTube, I'm like, oh, well, Saturday is just gonna be full of like watching jiu-jitsu live and then staring down at my phone in between matches and watching that crazy bracket. I'm excited for it. I mean, like, obviously it'll be cool to be there for ADCC. We went last time. But yeah, I mean, you know, for better for worse, however you fall on whatever side of the line you fall on for how the CJI ADCC stuff played out, it's this Saturday is just going to be the most active, phenomenal grappling matches going on like in the history of the sport. It's going to be insane how much is going on one day in the same city, no less. Do you love her so much you're going to put money down on it, Cole? Oh, cool. I'm good to see Heroes taking advantage of it. Tried to get the rear naked for so long, then Luke got me in seconds. Hold on, let's see, I missed it. So all right, yeah, so you were going on that for a while. Luke using not even really a kipping escape. I mean, kind of the basics of one, the fundamentals of one, at least this frame on the hips here gets Joe off balance. Again, this is why you want to pick a side. He's got and then Luke has his back rounded. We don't see him kick his legs too much, the kipping motion, but he gets Joe off balance enough to where as Joe opens his legs, Luke can scramble up. He doesn't fall into the closed guard. Luke likes to hang back because why fight out a closed guard, especially with Joe? He's going to wrap your legs up, or he's going to wrap his legs around you. It's going to be really hard to get out. So now Luke pressures in. Does he go straight to mount from here? Yep. And then now, yeah, Joe, with your back off the mat, he's going to look to gift wrap, which he does. He'll slide that right knee up the back, do a chair sit back take. And yeah, Luke has a nasty way of getting to the strangle on the rear naked. If you haven't had the experience, typically doesn't involve trying to dig under your neck. It involves pummeling over your face, and then just squeezing the hell out of whatever he can get, which works. FanDuel's gonna crash. Yeah, they'll be all right. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any. I only know of one betting site that does anything with jiu-jitsu, and it's not one I'm willing to put any money in. The body triangles are awful. Joe can hit them from anywhere. Brooke, who's not on the stream tonight, Brooke will body triangle me from close guard, which I hate. I think it's a dumb tactic, and I feel like she does it just to piss me off. Because like you need to be able to move and like cut angles in close guard, so a body triangle exactly takes that away from you. Like it just locks you in position. But when you do just want to control somebody and catch your breath, it's not a bad option. This was a sketchy gamble for me here. As Joe stands to close guard, or stands in my close guard, trying to fall into the legs with my bad leg on top and easily accessible. Joe, I'm going to point this out just because I have to. But here we've got, this is where Luke had his oopsie daisy. So Joe pressuring in on top, and Luke finds this Kimura, right? Good Kimura. I'd say pretty dead to rights here, Joe. He's got your knuckles behind your back. So you're in kind of late stages of a Kimura escape here. And then watch this left knee. We're going to do this in slow motion. Watch Joe's left knee. Bam! Right in the eyeball. Um, I think Luke has 3 stitches now. Nice little cut below the eyebrow, above the eyelashes, right on the eyelid. Sorry, I had to point it out. Um, don't calf slice her when she does that. No, there's no calf slicer there. I mean, or none that I know of. She's got the body triangle around my waist, and then the lock on this side. I mean, I could like pull it. I could grab the one locking leg and like pull it, but she's a brown belt. She probably won't tap to that. She'll just like laugh at me and slap me in the face or something. But I don't think that would really hurt her because she's in like it's not gonna slice her own calf. That ankle's right up behind her knee, so I don't really see it working. There he is. What's up, Luke? Love it. Um, yeah, Coop likes doing the body triangles. He's another one who can do them from every position. 3 stitches, okay. My assumption was right. Uh, yeah. Joe escaped that Kimura 100%. That's what happens, man. No, total accident, of course. We know, Joe. We know you wouldn't do that on purpose. But next time, your shoulder's getting broken. Leak in a spacesuit. All right, so last round. I don't know. I forgot if anybody else joins this one, but we got me and Ben finishing this one off as Ronnie cleans up the blood, cleans up the crime scene. I went over this a sweep single yesterday. This is not quite a sweep single. Like I'm not committing. My knee was a little inflamed this day, and even more so the next day. But see, I try to set up my angle here, pull bin, get that lead leg stepping, and then reach down to cut my angle. I go down to the ankle. He starts to sprawl out of it. I just try to chase it down. But he uses that whizzer to kind of slow me down a little bit and then gets back up to a front headlock position and starts putting on the squeeze. If you guys haven't dealt with Ben in this position, he really likes 10-finger guillotines. So that's why I'm down. I'm not 4-pointing right now. He is trying to get a chin strap grip to start like a 5-finger, and then he'll probably switch to a 10-finger, and he wouldn't even have to do. He could just do a 5-finger and like make my life miserable. So that's why I'm trying to actively fight his hands in that position. Luke will not forget. He is an elephant in more ways than one. The Mir Nog treatment. What was Mir Noguera? How did that? I'm blanking on that fight. Yeah, what was that? Who dunked on Cole? Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell? Good. Put him in his place. Ah, yes, that's right. Joe had a takedown here. We'll highlight. So actually, I like this. Joe with the like a tight waist underhook, Cole with the whizzer. But Cole not quite using the whizzer as effectively as he could. Cole's hinging his body down, which is going to put a little bit of pressure on Joe. But if you really want to utilize a whizzer, drive your shoulder down into the mat. Joe's hand should be touching the mat to keep himself from like face planting if a whizzer is done correctly. Since it's not, Joe has a good opportunity to use this angle that he has here. He's straddling that right leg. I like this little trip, pull with the tight waist, come up past the guard. But now you got to get your arms back and not fall for any of Cole's body gripping sweeps that he likes to do. Meanwhile, this is just a long, slow torture session with Ben as he smashes me. That's right. That's right. I was thinking when you said that, I was thinking Mir and Oh, who was that big? He was the heavyweight champion. He was a cop. Tim Sylvia, because he broke Tim Sylvia's arm too, but that was in an armbar, not a Kimura. Joe making his way to mounts. Pretty splayed out here. Looked like he was laying on some smother pressure. I like that you dismounted on your terms there, Joe, rather than letting Cole make a positional advancement. It only takes him a few seconds, though, to make one. And now Cole's in mount. Again, with just more of this over back, over body gripping, framing the hips here. This is just fundamental stuff, getting the head below the hips and initiating that roll. Been laying on some heavy shoulder pressure. So the mirror lock is more of an Americana, not the Kimura. That's where, like, ripping that, if someone has a shallow underhook and you rip it in, it basically puts your arm into a more Americana position than if that's what you're referring to, Inoki. Oh, God. Cole just being a jerk again. Forcing the belly down. I'm just so worried about your spine here, Joe. Head pat. Would have been yesterday. Oh yeah, no. Cole saw you yesterday. That's right. So Sean, I'll have to look that fight up again because maybe Inoki's right. Did he break it with? He broke it countering that underhook, right, in the Nogueira fight? Because if so, yeah, that would beat the mirror lock, and I'm just telling Inoki what he already knows. So here I'm looking for the shoulder crunch. Ben is very good at this, and I had to compliment him on this. He hits this twice in a row on me, and I need to work on my timing on this, but he times this the knee push really well here, where he'll hop over this leg. He knows what he's got, my heel pinned to my butt. So on his terms, he jumps and pops that knee through, right? I get my guard back. He pops it through again, like real quick before I can settle in. He did that repeatedly throughout this round. And it's really got me thinking on how I could shut that down. And I think it involves, rather than having my butterfly hook, with my knee pointing up, I'm going to have to take it down along the mat if he gets a hand on it and try to like scoop around into close guard. See, he's doing it again. And I see him doing this to a lot of other people. Anytime you try to do like a forward shift with your butterfly hooks or something, he knocks it out of the park. Victor, thank you for the follow, brother. What rank is the top player? This dude? Ben is, I think Ben's just a blue belt. I forgot how long he's been training. He came to us with a good bit of experience. This guy's a purple belt. This guy's a blue belt. Sorry, I want to go back and see just the start of this round. Cole pressuring forward, stepping his way to half guard, back to open guard. Settling into mount now. Dude, you're not wrong. Yeah, when Ben takes top position, it's normally a pretty long battle for me to get my guard back. That's why Ben is someone that I will absolutely try to stand with more, rather than sitting to guard and trying to come up from a bottom position. And he did it, again, with all this top pressure, he ends up getting me, catching me in a Katagatame. It was really, really nice, really tight. It's like, I'm no way I'm going to fight out of this. So he scoops my arm there, locks it up really well, has to get that leg free. And I don't think he goes super disrespectful on me. He doesn't even dismount. He just gets to mount. Says, I don't even need to take it to the tightest spot. I'm like, yeah, you got that, bro. Really, really good good work from him. Now we got Cole and Joe finishing this up. You ever use the lockdown to relieve pressure? I use it long before I get into an arm triangle. I probably have used it in an arm triangle to relieve pressure, but from there, I feel like I'm kind of delaying the inevitable if I use a lockdown. What I'm normally looking to do at that point is either, if they're around my size, roll away and give my back up, right? Like turn into it and say, I'm gonna. It's kind of like the idea of booting into a straight ankle. You just shove your limb in deeper, and it actually gets it out of trouble. If I can shoot my arm in deeper and relieve the strangle, but give up my back, I'll do that all day. I'd rather fight somebody because I like my back escapes than try to dig out of a Katagatame. Otherwise, I'm looking for that dismount to the side that Bin didn't do. And when they go for that, I try to time pushing with my free hand, pushing their hips further away and turning as I do it to help me backstroke my arm out of it. That's 50-50 for me. Like I don't have really, really great arm triangle escapes. I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, but those are the things that I typically try to do to get out of that. Relieving the pressure. If I feel like they don't have it locked up very well and they're just kind of squeezing on me, then I'd probably resort to that because they're gonna try to adjust, and I'm gonna use that opportunity to try to escape a little bit more and then a little bit more. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Bin has a mass multiplier. He'll just like tripod up on your face with his shoulder, and then like add a squeeze into it to make it even worse. As does Cole. And Joe. Jesus, Joe does that to me. Joe does more of that to me than like anybody else. And I'll do it with the blade of his hip too when he's in north-south. So this is that odd Kimura I alluded to way earlier. Kind of sucks. Forearm across the face, not very comfortable. Joe, I think your arms are connected here. Do you have a closed grip? No, okay, you don't. And maybe you're just like, just get me out of here. Yeah, the downside of this. So if you had your arms like gripped to keep this, yeah, you're pretty much caught in a Kimura. It's if you guys are familiar with rear triangles, when you have the arm in front, the Kimura pressure is very different from when you have the arm in plane with the back. That's what this reminds me of. But if your arm if your arms are not attached here, Joe, and you straighten your arm out and try to like pummel it up over Cole's shoulder, you're isolating your arm. You're entering into smothering territory. So he's kind of got you in a bad spot here. We're also about an hour, 45 minutes or an hour into training, maybe 50, somewhere in there. So I probably would have tapped too. It's also my go-to. If I feel them trying to dismount, I'll go to lockdown, let them burn their arms out. Yeah, that's not, if you've got time, I think that's perfectly viable. If you're just rolling for fun with friends, or if you're in some like crazy long time limit match, if adrenaline's pumping, I think that's reasonable. It is super easy to burn out your arms on a Katagatame. So yeah, I'd say that's a decent strategy for sure. Couldn't move the hip. Nope. Yeah. I don't blame you. I would have tapped as well. Cool. Well, maybe Mike will join us next Wednesday. Thank you so much, guys. This was a really, really fun stream. I love all the questions. Very active chat. That stuff always makes me happy. So thank you, Inoki, for joining us and asking great questions. Victor, thank you for the follow, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Sean, always good to talk to you. Thank you again for all your commentary as well. Tall Joe, don't feel too bad. It's just Luke. It's just his face. It's fine. Thank you, Ronnie. You too. Yeah, if anybody else is lurking, if you like what you're seeing, hit the follow button. We always appreciate the follows. If you like the content, subscribe. You could use your Twitch Prime. That stuff always helps out the stream a lot. Keeps paying the bills on all these streaming services and video services I'm using. So appreciate the support there. Subscribe over at YouTube as well, where you guys can rewatch this for as long as you want, as many times as you want, and support us over that way. Yeah, no stream Sunday. We will be in Vegas for ADCC, watching some of the best grapplers on the planet compete. Super stoked for that. Did anyone end up here because of the IG post? Yeah, please let us know if that happened. That would be awesome. That would make Ronnie's night. Thank you, Joe. I know. We're gonna have to talk to Mike about his attendance. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, no stream Sunday. Ronnie will be teaching, so everybody go give her some good attendance and ask her good questions and put her to the test. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you, bro. What else? I think that's about it for now. So yeah, other than that, you know the deal. Go trim your nails and do your laundry. Don't be stinky, and be careful giving people cuts on their eyes and black eyes. Talking to you, Joes. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy. I'll see ya.